And we thank you so much for joining us. It's 105. I'm Mary-Lynn with you weekdays noon to 3.
Oh, and I'm Gary O'Brien, filling in for Diane Ducey today, who's a little under the weather.
Yes, and we hope that you're feeling better, Diane.
I missed my cue.
That's okay. You don't get to, you're still catching on to everything, or getting used to it, I should say. Here's what we're going to chat about now. Did you have a treehouse growing up, or did you have friends who had a treehouse?
No, not really. But what we did behind a garage, we built a fort. It wasn't in a tree, but we built a 2-story thing behind the garage.
Is that right? Well, I'll bet if you lived in this community, you wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
So you built it out of wood and all that?
Yeah, just leftover wood that my dad had from various projects.
And you didn't get a permit for that? You didn't?
Oh, heck no. We're kids just playing around. We did a one-story. It's kind of cool, and we'd go on there. It was so tiny, but we would get in there and talk and feel like it was our own little space. And then one day we decided we needed a second floor. So we built on a second level.
Built a second level. Yeah. That's interesting.
We were creative.
That's pretty cool. That's very cool. This story's out of Falls Church, Virginia, and it's Fairfax County. And Dad promised that he would build a treehouse for his boys. And he did this before his last deployment to Iraq. He promised them he would do it when he came home. So Eric and Sean, the sons, helped their father build this really sturdy treehouse, complete with a slide, 2 climbing ropes, a shingled roof, even shutters to match the homes in the neighborhood. And so it's a pretty elaborate treehouse. It's about $1,400 worth of materials to put this thing together, and it took 6 weekends to build it. And the boys even earned some scout badges for the work that they helped their dad do on this house. But an anonymous complaint of the red treehouse raised a red flag with the county zoning board, and apparently this treehouse is a violation of the zoning ordinance. The dad was told that the treehouse is considered an addition to his home, and after lots of forms, red tape, and $1,800 in fees, it was rejected, and so now he's got to tear the treehouse down.
Well, the question probably is, how elaborate is it? It sounds like it was very elaborate, so it could have, if it was just like a little treehouse, probably with leftover plywood and a little tiny thing, probably it wouldn't be an issue. But
I mean, he's got a big fenced-in backyard. To me, it's not an eyesore. You can barely see it above the fence.
Well, probably the eyesore, that's irrelevant, probably. When you build a structure of a certain size, there are codes you need to adhere to. If he was just using scrap wood and did a little tree house, it probably would have never come up. But because it was so elaborate and shutters and all this stuff, that put it in a whole different category.
I mean, this tree house rocks.
Yeah.
I would want to play in this tree house for sure.
So I'm not surprised there were codes that needed to be adhered to.
I mean, I don't...
it's not a simple little treehouse like we think of when you mentioned it. I thought it was just like, 4 pieces of plywood and a couple of nails and a ladder nailed to the tree. Okay,
well, we're going to take a quick break, but I want to come back and talk to you, Mr. two-story fort builder that didn't have to get it torn down.
No, it was tiny, tiny, tiny.
All right, we'll see about that. It's 1:11 here at Connect FM, and what are your thoughts on this? An elaborate tree house, would it bother you if something like that was in your neighborhood? Do you kind of feel sorry for the dad here, or do you think, maybe it went overboard? 359 call to connect, 217-359-2255. It's 112 at Connect FM. Hey, just say
having conversations other than with you.
Talk amongst yourself over there. Yeah.